Now I know what you're probably thinking. You're probably sitting there being like, Spike, you're being overly dramatic. There's no way one little handlebar twitch is really gonna cost you as much as you're leading on. And that's where you'd be wrong. But if I'm going to tell this story right, I need to back things up a few months to July. That's when we got the idea that Chase on Two Wheels, 650 Ebe, and I should race each other. And that's when the Aprilia Creator GP was born, with the help of Alpine Stars, Break Free, Cardo, Motivation, Moto Million, and more. We'd have the choice between either a Tuono 660 factory or an RS 660 factory, and we'd have a short time to get them ready to race. Ebe chose the RS, and both Chase and I wanted the Tuono. So come July 22nd, I purchased my Tuono 660 factory, and we had until September 29th to train ourselves, get these bikes prepped up, get over to NJMP, and race. First thing I had to do was break the bike in and then service it. That all had to happen really fast because on August 23rd, I had my very first track day. So I rode the bike, got used to the power, and did what every self-respecting rider would do, and that's void the warranty with a brand new full system exhaust. I even ran it on the dyno to see exactly how much power the bike was making, and to our surprise, it actually picked up a few ponies. Then it was time to hit Circuit of the Americas right in my backyard to see how the Tuono behaved when I pushed it. And to no one's surprise, it was absolutely phenomenal. Yesterday, I spent all day getting to know this motorcycle, and I put down my fastest lap time ever by a country mile. I did a 2:56.8, which for me is pretty goddamn fast. It was so good that I was invited back to COTA in mid-September to ride it against a BMW M1000RR. And after riding both of those bikes back to back, I said this: but if you actually really want to learn, for me, I think that a smaller bike would do better. And I don't know that BMW really has an answer for that. I also said this: okay, we're gonna slow down, we're gonna calm down, we're gonna get ahead of the handlebars. And that's one of the most difficult things I find when riding on a racetrack, is staying ahead of the bike. Which, as we're going to see later on, is extremely prescient. Between July 22nd when I got the bike and September 24th when I left for NJMP, I had managed to clock over 1,200 miles on the bike with hundreds of laps at COTA, so I was pretty confident in my skills. But then it was time to pack everything in the van, leave Austin, and drive 1,700 miles to New Jersey so that I could put all of that work to the test. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to somewhere in Arkansas. I don't know. I think Memphis is about 60 or 80 miles that way. Slept in the van last night, right next to the Tuono 660, which is in there all strapped down. I got the Janus on the tail end because in theory I'll be swinging through Goshen on the way back. I drove about 8 hours yesterday. I'm planning to drive between 9 and 10 hours today, and then maybe a leisurely 6 hours tomorrow. Alrighty folks, we are somewhere in Tennessee outside of Nashville, and I have just been communicating with Nate from Motivation and Gabbro, the Gabbro, about getting myself a race tune for the Tuono, and I just opened the app and there it is. I'm sure that Nate has probably reached out to him too, but I'm hoping that Chase just like left his tuner at home or something like that, and so he's running on a bike with no tune, because I know Ebe has a tune. So again, if you're not cheating, are you even racing? Welcome to Nashville, and all the traffic that comes with it. Well, I finally made it to Knoxville. My plan is to continue to, drive for like another 3 hours. It's 8:30 now, officially on Eastern time. Got to keep driving, then, around about 11, maybe through the rest of this tank. I'll pull over at some roadside rest stop and curl up in the back of the van again. I'm just trying to, make it so that I don't have to drive 8 hours tomorrow. Well, people, unfortunately, that there outside My window is New Jersey. I don't like this state. Any state where you can't pump your own gas. Now, once we actually got to New Jersey, there were a few things standing in the way of actually racing. First and foremost, I needed to make sure that my bike actually had the race tune on it. All right, y'all, we are in the truck outside on the morning of, I don't know what day it is anymore. I've lost track of time. But we are transferring the new race map on the bike, and funnily enough, that is exactly what Mr. Chase is doing on his bike over here. Sitting there trying to figure out how to make it all go. How's it going, buddy?
I've got the latest firmware, so that's cool.
Somebody's having issues. I'm gonna go back to my bike that's working.
Is your bike being ruined at the same time, or is it just me?
Just you.
Sick. Love this for me.
All right, looks like I've got the map fully installed on there, which is neat.
Of good tides.
Oh yay! Check this out, guys.
Oh, you're recording.
Chase just handed me this. You're gonna see this in a video.
This is not a negative. Chase is trying to get rid of his Ruroc shit.
It's definitely not what's happening.
Chase had extra Rurocs. We had a discussion. You wanted to make a video. I helped facilitate. I don't want the internet thinking I'm an impartial third helmet reviewer.
Then there was the biggest problem, actually learning NJNP. Neither Chase, Ebe, nor myself had ever ridden on this racetrack before, so we had an even playing field, and we had a little bit of time to go out and watch the Moto America races before our race day. Alrighty folks, we're actually out here at the track now. I think that's Super Stock 1000 is going on right now. We're at turn 8, basically, right there on the end of the dog leg. Just watching lines, there was actually a bike that just went down over there. And I'm seeing a couple of guys wiggle right there on that corner. I'm also watching the exit of turn 7, which is right back there. Looks like they're coming wide using the entire track there, and then they're staying so far away from turn 8, which is nice. This feels a lot like the carousel at Coda. We're standing on the bridge that leads right into, I believe that's turn 20? No, turn 12. Yeah, turn 12. So you can see that car coming in. That's turn 4 going into turn 5. It's taking a much wider line. Everybody I've seen has been coming about mid-track right there. You can almost see right there, that's where they're running the track in. So they're coming out here using all the track and then coming about a mid-track there. This is a much later corner than you'd think for number 5. This is turn 3. It's got an A, B, and a C corner. So it's a really quick right, left, right that leads down a passing straight that is going to take a lot of work. Now, I did learn a lot by watching the races. However, I had a secret weapon. My buddy Dylan actually races in the Super Hooligans class in Moto America, and he said the best way that he's found to dissect a racetrack is actually to sit down with a notepad and a track map after every session and write down a few details of just a few corners so that you can remember it for next time, and then focus on the next set of corners that next session, and then build a mantra for the entire racetrack. So I'm here at the hotel trying to download and print out a track map so that I can have it when I get to the track. But unfortunately, somebody filled the entire printer queue with, I kid you not, J-Lo photos. So I'm having to cancel them all one at a time before I can actually print out what I need, which is that track map. Now, I would have shared some of these details with Chase at dinner if he'd asked, but instead, this happened. Okay, so he just walks up to me, and he says...
As a gentleman, I walked up
and says, you know, we're racing tomorrow. I'm now your mortal enemy.
I've waited till the end of the night. We just had a beautiful dinner. We can hate each other until 6 o'clock. That's not even 24 hours. 22 hours.
So I gotta hate him now.
Yeah.
to sleep, motherfucker.
I gotta get gas. I gotta go get gas.
That's what the green beans were for.
For the bike. Wrong gas.
Now, I know this is going to sound weird given what Chase just told me, but I'm going to shout out his channel and Eve's because right now they both have race day coverage of their own, showing their angles and their stories. So that will be linked down in the description below. You can go check out their videos. They're live right now. Finally, it was time to throw down. We each had up to 9 sessions to learn this racetrack before we filmed our time trial at lunch. My plan was to go out during the intermediate and beginner groups to learn the track as quickly as I could. I sat out with the advanced group because I was worried that I would be trying to override myself and I wasn't going to actually be learning the racetrack. Thankfully, the safety car was able to take us around for a few laps so we could see the track for real before actually riding it. I didn't film the first 2 sessions because I was so focused, but I stuck to my plan and I started piecing this track together. Okay, folks, 2 sessions down, intermediate and novice. I used the novice session to really just sit and think about the lines because the second half of the track is really tough. So you can see right here, this is a pretty simple corner. 5, I'm diving in much too early. And then there's a set of crash marks right here at 9. So you can see it for my notes. I've got 5, take a breath. 9, look for the crash marks. That's for my dip in. So basically you ride the outside edge of this track and then come in. It's a lot steeper than it looks on the track map. And then I'm gonna start riding 10 as a double apex. So kind of come in, go wide, come back in, and then try to straighten this out as much as I can. I got 5 minutes, and then I'm back out on track, and you're coming with me. Alrighty, folks, this one is the last session out before we're filming our time attack. By filming, I mean actually doing. So the goal here is to just finalize the lines in my brain, make sure that I have, you know, good flow going. Also to burn off a little bit of gasoline. I want the bike a little bit lighter. Still on cold tires. Turn 3C, up the hill for turn 4. Wheelie hill, on the brakes, dip it down, come out center track, on the brakes, downshift, look into 2, or this is 5 here, on the gas, use the track, on the brakes, light on the brakes, round for 7, or that's 6 rather, this is 7 right here. This one's a really interesting sector. I still haven't quite gotten it nailed. There's some crash marks here. I've been using this as my sight line. Come round for 9. Round for 10. Run it as kind of like a double apex. Don't get over for 11B. Dive down into 12. Full gas. 5th gear. 6th gear. Brakes, brakes, brakes. Turn 2, downshift, 2 for 2. On the gas. 2 for 3. Switch. Look deep, look deep, look deep. Switch. Look deep, look for the paint. Holy shit, I think that's Kayla Yakov. Okay folks, it's moment of truth time. I put together another what felt like a pretty good session. Now, unfortunately, at some point during that session, Chase passed me, and that does not bode well. You only pass somebody if you're going faster, though. I just have to block that out of my mind, because getting in my own head about it is not going to make me faster. I'm just going to relax and go back out, put my head down, get some work done, and hopefully I can put out at least one better, faster lap. I did make one adjustment to the motorcycle. Let me show you. This is a trick I learned from Dave Moss, but right-handed riders typically end up being tight in this right arm, just inherently. What that does is it artificially shortens your right arm. So if you're feeling tired in the right shoulder, you can just move the handlebar over, and that'll help loosen up your grip over here. So that's what I did. It's not a big adjustment, but I've done it off-road a handful of times, and it makes a big difference. Fingers crossed that helps me go a little faster, especially since I'm getting a little on the tired side. Being tight up here is not going to help me go quick. So let's see.
Be able to go as fast as me?
I'm gonna try. Well guys, that's the end of that. Checkered flag got thrown on that last lap, and that's my first race in the books. Made it! I swear to God, if I set a fastest lap, it was out there. I don't know what my time is. They haven't told us yet. But I'm quietly optimistic that I laid down the best time. I was riding beyond my skill set. The general rule of thumb for Ride Smart, the org I ride with, is that like you shouldn't be beyond 75% of your ability. And I was like, you know what? This session is not a track day. I want to see what I can do. And I was like, if I bin it, this is the best place to do it. If there's soft grass for me to land in, I got an airbag, let's go. I did overcook it one time into 7, and I had to stand the bike up and really slow down, and it was fishtailing. That lap That was probably gonna be a wash, but I'm whooped right now. I am fucking whooped. It was one of those things where I was like, you know what, just leave it all out on the track. I don't want to have any regrets when it comes time for the podium. At the very least, I'm second. Chase is a dark horse, man. Chase is really fast. I'm pretty sure I beat Eve, but maybe I won.
Oh, hubris. Thy name is Jake. I felt so good, and then it was time for the podium ceremony.
So we have 1 minute 56.49. We have 1 minute 46.15 seconds. And we have 1 minute 45.
Ooh, shit.
800 milliseconds between the first.
800 milliseconds. Uh-oh.
So in the third place, we have third place, the biggest one here, the one and only 650E. All right,
there you go, man.
Thank you, guys.
Congratulations. Now it's 800 milliseconds between 1 and 2.
Grab each other's hands like this. Exactly. For the first place, we have from Atlanta, Mr. Chase on 2 wheels.
800 milliseconds.
Congratulations, dude. Nice work, man. Thank you.
That was so fucking close.
That was so close.
I'm going that way.
After you.
For the winner,
The first ever.
of Jefes, the Creator GP.
Nice job, boys. That was a lot.
There you go.
There we go, boys. Look at that. Yeah. Oh no! I fell! Oh no!
Cheers.
Enjoy, guys.
Cheers.
My belt fell.
Well, guys, I left it all on the track and took second. I'm not going to complain about that, especially considering that I lost by a 8/100ths of a second. So, or 8/10ths, I don't remember. Anyway, that was a lot of fun. And that's where this video was going to end until I got into the editing room and I saw how close I was to achieving glory, and I wanted everyone else to take a look at this because otherwise I'm just gonna sit here and stew on it for a year until our next at bat. We're gonna take a look at Chase's fastest lap, which was his first, and we're gonna take a look at my potential fastest lap, which was my 5th. Now, there's some differences already as we're looking at us lined up on the grid. Chase's bike is on empty. That was one of the things that I wanted to do, is go burn off some gas so my bike would be lighter. Speaking of lighter, Chase is 30 pounds lighter than I am, which if you want a more direct idea of power to weight ratios, look at our speed at the exact same point on this racetrack. Chase is 2 miles an hour faster, and that's something you're gonna see throughout this entire lap. Now, it's gonna be tough to see here, but one of the things that I'm noticing while we're watching this is Chase does tend to carry a little bit more speed, but I'm braking later than he is. However, I'm also giving it a little bit more gas between corners. I think what that's causing me to do is overbrake. So I build too much speed between corners, I have to get back on the brakes, where Chase is just kind of carrying speed and flowing around a little bit better. This is where you're gonna see just the raw weight difference on this bike coming out onto the back straight. He's got so much more speed than I do. He's coming out of that corner faster, I will admit, but my bike takes longer to get up to speed. Now this is where I'm getting on the gas and Chase isn't. You can see right there, I pick up almost to about 85 miles an hour, and that's where we start to catch up. Down this back straight, I can use the shoulder a little bit to accelerate a little harder. I'm about 2 bike lengths back. This is where Chase makes his mistake though. he's too far away from the apex into 7, which allows me to speed up a little bit harder and brake a little bit later into this. And right here, we're practically neck and neck. This is another one where he blows the apex and I can just accelerate through this corner just a little harder. You can see he's hugging the inside of the track. We're supposed to be about mid-track here. Right here, I'm coming into this corner about 10 miles an hour faster. And this is where I encounter my problem right about there. Concentration broken, lap ruined. Watch what happens here. I'm still faster than Chase, but I can't get my head ahead of the bike again through the rest of this lap. You're just gonna see Chase continue to pick up speed and ride a little bit harder than I am. He's a gear up here. I don't know, man. It's that one moment that just broke my concentration, and he's so much faster around turn 12. We both have racetrack we can use on the outside. We can roll up on that curbing, but he just manages to stay ahead of the handlebars, and you can see how much longer this lap takes. Drives me nuts. And that right there, that's the difference, I think, between first and second place. Maybe he would have gotten me. He's still really fast through that corner, but I was quicker through that sector. I made up all the time I needed to be neck and neck. We would have had a photo finish. Instead, Chase beat me by a full second. I need more track time. And with that, we reach the end of the Creator GP, and unfortunately, I have to suck it up for the rest of this year knowing that Chase took first place. But if you think I'm letting you keep that belt for next year, dude, you are so wrong. I'm really hoping we get to do it again because I'm coming for you, Chase. You're not staying the champion next year. I can promise you that. I started training the second I came in second because, like Reese Bobby said,
If you ain't first, you're last.
hopefully you guys enjoyed this too, and I'll catch you later.